I've called the show tonight Monster Mash. Doing the Monster Mash. We're going to
That's
do the
good.
Monster Mash because I've absolutely no idea what it's about at all.
That's a shock because neither have I.
Oh boy, we're live. We're
I,
live.
I was
Let us.
I was out watching the rugby this afternoon.
You were not. I actually was at a car boot sale, and a friend of mine picked up an absolutely fabulous uh, Guinness sign, and they go from 40 to 60 to maybe 80 quid. Got it for
Yeah.
20 quid. It was an absolute bargain. I think I actually might be able to post it up and show you it, and you can actually see what it looks like, because I think I have airdrop on tonight. I think I do. It's going to
Well,
come through, and I'll post it up before we do the news, because this is the sort of thing I think people would like to see.
a lot of that ex-pub memorabilia stuff. There's loads of it about, and some of it's really collectible. I mean, really, really collectible. And other bits and pieces you can pick up cheap enough.
Well, listen, it amazes me that people are selling it, because it really is worth having, and it really is nice. It
Yeah.
really is nice. Do you know what?
Well,
I've sent it over and it still hasn't popped through. I don't know why it hasn't popped through.
well,
Uh,
somebody sent me a message the other day about explaining the significance of this. I'll just do it briefly. My hometown is Ballymena, right?
mhm.
And there was never a distillery in Ballymena. Well, there was way back in the sort of latter part of the 18th century. A man called Clutworthy Walkinshaw
Okay.
had a distillery, which was very oats based, which was sort of significant here in a minute. But it's down where McDonald's was. That's essentially where it was. But there was no distillery. But McAllister's owned basically a blending house on Bryan Street
Right.
in the town. Murphy's was there as well, but they were down on Railway Street, just down there over Harryville Bridge. And McAllister's, I'll not get into the whole, because there's a whole backstory to the modern interpretation of McAllister's. There's a new distillery, McAllister's, and there's a new Clan Cola, which is this, has
Yeah.
been released. But there's another McAllister's thing. I'll not get into it because there's a whole legal stuff going on as far as I'm aware.
Okay. Yeah.
But McAllister's didn't have a distillery. They were blending house, something like W.D. O'Connell and J.J. Corey, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
It's where Liam Neeson worked as a kid. As a young fella, he worked in there. And if you go to Tully Glass, the House Hotel, that was their
Lovely.
house. That was their house. They built
Wow.
that. So
Great carvery
that's
there. Great carvery there.
all you can eat. All you can eat. Yeah, it's a great spot. But McAllister family, that was their house. So that's sort of the tie-in, and that's why it's here, because this is my hometown.
I've actually found the picture. There's the picture there. I'll put the solo on. Look at that. Look at that there.
Oh, you can't argue with that.
That's in my mate's bar. Look at that there. Does not look fantastic? I mean, it's brand new looking.
But you pick these things up for next to nothing. Well, I say next to nothing, but you think of what you're getting. You're getting genuine, original sort of memorabilia, and for 20 quid, 40 quid.
Yeah, can't beat that. Can't beat that at all. It's
really
certainly worth putting up and having, because I mean, I carried the thing to the car, and it's actually
you did your labor.
Well, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was going to be a fake one. I thought it was going to be, those ones you buy on Wish or something like that there. But the thing had weight to it. And I thought, this can't be a copy. And of course, it wasn't. It was the real deal. I mean, I know they produced them like they were going out of fashion at one point. Virtually every pub in the UK and Ireland got one free at one point. Yeah. But nice to have. And it's the sort of thing that does get broken, because it is a real mirror,
Well, if you ever go into obviously the Duke of York, but Willie Jack, that owns the Duke of York, has been collecting this stuff for years. Okay, and if you go upstairs in the Heart Bar, the Duke of York was covered in these mirrors. But if you go upstairs in the Duke or upstairs in the Heart Bar, you've got Orpheus, and you see the likes of McAllister's and Murphy's pub mirrors. He has some of them. I don't know where he
Right.
got them. He paid thousands for those. Honestly, the amount that he has spent on old pub mirrors, I think if I don't know how he gets away with putting them on there, insurance wise,
Mhm.
because I know a guy who went to buy 2 Murphy's pub mirrors,
Okay.
okay, at an auction, and he had the cash on him to go down and buy them, and he took £10,000 in cash with him to buy 2 mirrors, and he wouldn't have been able to buy one of them, and Willie Jack bought both of them.
Wow.
I
Wow.
Willie paid well over £10,000 for each of them.
Listen, we better say hello to everybody tonight
Ah,
before we do
go
the
on ahead.
news, because I mean, you said nobody's going to be watching tonight because Belfast Whiskey Week is the final night. Well, I tell you, it nearly went into treble digits there. There you go, James and Moira Doherty. Greetings and felicitations, chaps. There you go. Sounds like you sound like Bradley Walsh in the Chase. Sean McClanahan is saying hello, hello. You sound like Rennie and hello, hello. Julie Mason is saying evening all. Yes. Patrick Mulcahy saying good evening. Michael Masters is saying evening one and all. That sounds like Santa Claus or something like that there.
All for one and one for all.
Yeah, that's D'Artagnan. William McClanahan is saying hi and all. Listen, we must get down and see him on Wednesday, mustn't we? Yeah,
we have to get down. We have to get down and say hello.
We do indeed. I'm on the radio twice this week, so we won't make it this week. Eric van de Ein is saying evening all from Belgium. Hello, Jury Belgique, welcome. Tony Sillett is saying evening, boys. Connor is saying evening, lads. Thank you very much for that. John Dunn is saying, I hope you enjoyed the tasting last night, Marty.
John, I saw you there. Yes. Yeah, and we'll be talking an awful lot more about it in a wee minute or two.
And about half past the hour, in about 20 minutes, we'll be talking extensively about it because I want to know where my invite in my box is. But you might be revealing something more about that at some date in the future.
Possibly, you never know.
Possibly, but you don't know. We don't know. We've a few surprises here. I'll just clink the bottles. Do you hear that? They're all sitting off screen because we haven't got the green light to do a lot of this yet. But stick with us. Stick with us. Jordy Burke is saying hello. Why did that not appear on screen? There he is. Robert Gustafson saying hola. Connor Ryan saying good evening. And Shane Foley is saying good evening as well. Now, hit the button.
Hit the button.
Oh, I love it. 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 Here we go. There we go. Oh, what a
brilliant. Brilliant.
It is good. So
first
up tonight,
we have to talk about Belfast Whiskey Week. Really, it's been. I haven't been able to watch a lot of it. I've been working all week. Cruise ships are back in, so I've been out guiding and doing what I do. So I've been busy boy. But what I have caught up with has been superb. It's been really, really good, interesting. And the one thing I want to bring up is it was an interview that happened during the week. Now, there's lots of stuff that I could have sort of picked holes with and so on. But it was Paul interviewed Jay Bradley of the Craft Irish Whiskey thingy, right?
Okay, yeah. Is this him here?
This is him. Now,
right.
He's one of he looks like a sort of slick operator and so on. But he was interviewed, and I actually thought he come across quite well. I thought he come across as a okay. He set his stall out, and he had his Fabergé egg thing and all of that, and what he's trying to sell and saying what he's trying to do. But I thought he the interview, and you can go on and see it. It's on the Shebeen section of Belfast Whisky Week, and I thought he conducted himself quite well. He was talking about how he came up with the idea of the various stuff. What are you going to say?
I was going to say, you know, it has some credibility, this boy, if Fabergé's involved, yes?
Well, see, this is it, right? Okay. He sold a bottle of whiskey for $2 million. Now, he sold it at a charity auction, and as far as I'm aware, the guy who runs the charity bought it. So basically, he put the money went back into the charity, and the guy ended up with his Fabergé egg. I thought he came across quite well. Some of the stuff that he was saying, I still have a bit of an issue with some of the stuff, and people investing their money, because let's be honest, he's looking lots of money, but it's. I thought he come across better than I had anticipated. You know.
Okay.
Now, what he did say was, I'll fly anywhere, and I'll go and talk to anybody at any time. I've just to put it in, I emailed the company asking them to get him on. We'll interview him here for a bit of a crack. And he didn't come and talk to us, but yeah, I got a phone call one time from the whiskey investment thing that he's part of. They were telling me about how they were going to buy these and this and so on, and how I could buy them dirt cheap and sell them for, and it sounded totally implausible. But he come on, restated his case there, and fair enough. It's the same as every other investment. You're going to take a risk with it. But I thought he came across better than I had hoped.
Okay, right.
You know?
It's time to, if you're into your motorbikes, because Armoy's been on this weekend, you're probably going to be into this, a big truck.
Well, yeah. Glenfiddich has unveiled that it's going to be running its delivery trucks on biogas made from the waste products from distilling. Okay? Now, the distillery up in Dufftown is going to be converting basically the draft, the stuff that normally they sell to farmers or give to farmers or whatever as they do with it. They're going to be converting it into ultra low carbon fuel.
Right.
So Glenfiddich's owned by William Grunt, and they sell like 20 million bottles a year. I mean, they're a big outfit. And they have 3 trucks already on the road that's running on this stuff. Now, they reckon that it cuts 95% of the CO2 down. And it's displacing, each truck's going to be displacing 250 tons of CO2 a year.
So they're carbon neutral. They're like, what's that?
No. The whole of the Scottish whisky industry is going to try and be carbon neutral by 2040. But this is a different thing. This is them, rather than feeding it to sheep and cows and whatever it is that eats them, and releases their methane as they empty
What
their
are the
bum.
poor wee critters going to do for food? What are they going to feed them?
I think grass is probably the natural diet of the sheep.
I think I would rather have some nice stuff out of a distillery rather than some grass. Would you not?
It's a cow, you know. This is a better way of doing things, and I wholeheartedly think all of this kind of stuff is just superb. You just can get all of that kind of stuff used up, reused, repurposed, and a practical and easy way of doing it. You know, so round of applause. Well done.
Okay. Yes, it is good. What's next tonight? Because it's 1:15 already. We're 25% through the show, and we said we didn't even know what we were doing tonight, and it's a quarter over.
Genuinely, I was working today, and then I thought, right, I'll come home and we'll sort out getting the show sorted out. And then I thought, I'll go watch the rugby, and then I'll do it. Then I come up home, made myself something to eat, had a bit of tidying up to do. So we really had a bit of an hour to get the show coupled together. But no, all right, next up, English whiskey, the Bimber Distillery, based in London, has had planning permission to build a new distillery on Speyside in Scotland. Yeah.
So that means it's not going to be an English distillery. It's not going to be a Scottish distillery. It's going to be an Anglo-Scottish distillery.
Well, this is going to be a separate. They've got a distillery in London. This is
Right.
another distillery. And I don't really know what to make of this, because if you're building your brand up, and one of the things that we love about whiskey is that
Okay.
sort of sense of place. You know, your Kentucky bourbons, and your Pennsylvania rye, your Irish pot still, your Scottish single malts. We kind of like that sense of place. Now, the English whiskey market, we've talked at length to some guys about this, is really starting to establish itself in its own right, and the likes of Bimber have been instrumental in that. But now they're building a Scottish distillery in sort of the basically the powerhouse of Scotch whisky up in Speyside, and yet, so I think, is it a bit of a dilution of the brand, or is it two separate things, or do you understand what I mean?
I do. I'm with you. I see where you're coming from. I mean, they're calling it Bimber as well. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't know. It's in Dunfield River. I'm not 100%. It's Dunfield in Speyside, and it'll have a different name. But I don't know if you're trying to establish yourself as an English whiskey producer and maker, to then quite publicly buy and set up another distillery in Scotland. Do you understand what it's different if you're a conglomerate, or Diageo buys up distilleries and opens different ones. They're a big multinational corporation.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know what to make of this. Good on them. I mean, fair play.
Well,
to them.
Mark Diamond's got a good thing. He says there's not much peaty water in London.
No. As I say, it's we'll see what happens with it. But I just think it's when you're an English distillery and quite out there, we're an English distillery. I mean, you see the stuff with the underground. They've done the tie up with the underground, which is, I mean, quintessentially a sort of English London centric branding. To then get planning permission to open a Scottish distillery and have it as. Is it a sister plant? Is it?
Do they have a name for the Scottish distillery?
No, I've already said this. It's
Yes.
being built in Dunfield, so I don't know if they're going to.
So you think they're going to call it Dunfield? You're not 100% sure.
I've no idea. I don't know.
Not 100% sure. Yeah,
but it could be. But it just seems strange.
It could be set to Dunfield. Was that good? No. Was that? Listen, folks, was that not funny? Was that not funny?
No. No. I know what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do there. But no, as I say, I don't know if you're trying to establish sort of English whiskey to then sort of possibly dilute it a bit. I don't know the whole background or the ethos behind it, but I just find it a little bit confusing as much as something else.
Stacey McAllister has a good point. So will it just be classified as British whiskey?
Well, you see, they have a distillery in London. This is going to be another distillery.
Oh, hold on. I've got a good point. This is not, the wind will not blow past this. Okay. Does that make it a sort of crossbreed whiskey region then? Does it?
No, because it's two separate distilleries.
Right. Okay.
Diageo own Roe & Co, and then they own about 40 distilleries or whatever it is in Scotland. But the point is, they're trying to establish English whiskey as a brand.
Right.
Whiskey festivals, you have English whiskey.
Okay.
And all the exciting opportunities that there is with having no restrictions. But then to say, we're doing really well, so we're going to build a Scottish one.
Now, you told me back in the day, 100 years ago, people like Haig used Irish whiskey in their Scottish whiskey product. Will they be allowed to do that from Bimber to Dunfield then?
Well, you see, this is the thing. English whiskey doesn't really have a technical file yet. So you could make Scottish
Okay.
whiskey would have to be Scottish whiskey,
All right.
but there's no
Okay.
PGA, there's no technical file really for English whiskey.
Okay.
So possibly they could make it in Scotland and ship it down to London, and pump it out there. But I just find the whole thing confusing. And there's a lot of
Okay.
questions to be answered about it.
Yeah. Okay. There is a lot of questions. I mean, listen, you found the Waterford thing confusing for a while, and then it's all beginning to come together. The sum of the parts is greater than the whole.
You see, whenever it was first being explained, the single farms project, and you're like, okay, that's fair enough. In your head, you're thinking, okay, they'll have single farms, they'll have, 1,000-acre farms and 3 or 4. But then whenever it was like dum 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 dum, and this is one Sheestown edition 1.1, and they started going on about, well, this is the first distiller and this is the first batch of that, but then we might have 1.2 and 1.4 and 2.1, and I'm sitting going, I just want to drink a whiskey. I really can't be bothered going through all of this. So it was I just found the project slightly confusing. But as it sort of went on, and it's become more and more an established thing and a bit more understandable. And now they're bringing out their cuvee. This is going to be they're all the different flavors that they spent so long distilling and maturing and getting to this point. I'm turning it in. Now I get it. I understand it. All this 1.1 and whatever's going to be 3.6 or whatever, I don't know. I'll just find that slightly confusing. But they've started teasing us with all these pictures of this is what their core product's going to be. This I understand. I'm a simple creature, Justin. I'm not a complicated kind of guy. So basically, they're going to bring out a product, and we've seen Leah's design on the label. I think it looks sharp as anything. Doesn't look like any other whiskey. I get a funny feeling this is going to come out and be really, really top-notch stuff. Just do you think it is?
Well, there's the good question. The south of England have better barley. Will they transport the spirit from London up for flavouring? That's a good point. It is a good point.
Well, you see, if they do, they can't call it Scotch. You know what I mean? So there's just a lot of questions about it, and the Bimber one, I find it's such a fledgling sort of industry as the English one that surely would the energy and time and money not be better served concentrating on the English brand and working more on that rather than diluting it and moving some stuff north. I find it confusing. I don't really see where they would be going with it.
Yeah. There we go. Peter Stewart's joined us tonight. Good evening, all. People are probably filtering in from the finale of Belfast Whiskey Week. I've got a truckload of stills here. What's that to do with?
This is Waterford as well. Waterford are getting new stills being put in.
Right.
Mark Rainier, who's obviously the everything really, everything behind Waterford. He's been posting pictures like the bejesus at the minute. All about, because he's obviously getting excited. He must be like we before Christmas.
It sounds to me that the game's afoot and there's stuff we don't even know about that's about to hit the fan. Yeah,
I would imagine so. Yeah, and yeah, good on him. We know the cuvee is going to be released in September.
There's a good question. Is Scotch a safer, easier bet than English?
Well,
that's a good thing. This is an Englishman based in Donegal.
But well, here's the thing. You can ask that question, but you can also ask: there ain't as much competition in England as there certainly is going to be in Scotland,
right?
And you'll be judged much harsher in Scotland than you would be in England, and you're more restricted with what you can do. I mean, as Dale Trotter would say, the world is your lobster in England. I mean, they can do what they want. They can make pot still whiskey if they like, the sort of copy Irish stuff. They can bring in all manner of stuff. Whereas in Scotland, they can age it whatever they like. They can do all this in England. You can't do it in Scotland. So I don't know. It just, to me, I don't understand why they would do it. If I'm honest.
Okay. Now, I want to try something here. I want you to be quiet for 5 minutes before you get all excited. If I played the Monster Mash, they would block the video for the Monster Mash. But I'm hoping that they won't block this video because, well, I know the person that owns the copyright of it. So hopefully, they won't block it because I've got permission to play it. Understand that, Zuckerberg?
Zuckerberg's coming for you again.
I know the guy that owns the copyright, so he ain't going to look as 12.5p for me playing it. So I'm going to try and play it. Don't block it. Here we go. You'll like this one. You'll like this one, Marty. Here we go.
Right, Cyril, this charade of a marriage just can't go on any longer. We've got to be honest with the boy. He's got to know the truth.
Look, Ribby, I'm begging you, please don't do this now.
Do what? Don't you tell me not to do this right now. And anyway, I blame you for all of this. Why? What did I do? Well, you're here, aren't you?
Well, if it's the truth you want, then listen to this.
Can somebody please tell me what's going on here?
Well, now, son, are you sitting comfortably?
Yes, Dad.
Well, strap yourself well in, 'cause have I got a tale to tell you? You're about to hear the yarn that may seem way beyond belief, but quite incredibly every word of it is true. Well, once I loved this girl, but she did love me back, and still I chased her like a lovesick fool. Well, she almost broke my heart until this voice inside my head said, listen, here is what you gotta do. Drink, just have a drink. It's time to drown the blues. Drink, the demon drink. A whiskey or a brandy, a lager or a shandy. Any kind of drink will do.
Well, now that you finally finished speaking, well, now let me have my say. 'Cause here's a sad story that's true. Well, once there was this man, he was kind and he was sweet, the type of man I was attracted to. Well, I really loved this man, but he didn't love me back, and in the end we parted company. But there was this other creep still lurking in the wings. It was your father sitting next to me. Oh, drink, I need a stiff drink. It's time to drown the blues. Drink, the demon drink. A whiskey or a brandy, whatever booze is handy. Any kind of drink will do.
Oh, I almost forgot, but there's still more left to tell.
And what's that, Dad? No, Cyril, don't do it.
Well, it's just that you and your brother were adopted too. Oh, Mama, think you hear that voice screaming loud inside my head?
Then, son, you know what you gotta do.
Ah, drink, just have a drink. It's time to drown the blues. Drink, the demon drink. A whiskey or a brandy, a vodka or a shandy. Any kind of drink will do. Oh, drink, we need a drink. It's time to drown the blues. Drink, the demon drink. A whiskey or a brandy, drink. A vodka or a shandy, drink. Any kind of drink will do. Let's drink.
Marty, what did you think of that? Did you like that one?
I do.
I thought you might like that.
I didn't know you were going to play that.
I know you didn't. I kept that a wee secret from you because I got the green light. He actually suggested it himself when I was telling him about the show tonight and what was in it. So Gary will no doubt like that. A very good video. Very good video. He did all that himself. You know, he is a published artists as well, so I thought you might like that. There's quite a lot of people tuning in tonight to watch it. It is.
Well, I'm being honest with you. So I've met some members of the public this week, and it's little wonder I drank. That's the truth. Something you're like,
that's the sort of sentiment of the song, isn't it? It is very good. I thought you might like that. But we've a fantastic thing to talk about tonight. And I'm going to show the picture. And people have asked it. They want sent a box of this. Right. And
I hate clear about a room.
All right.
I've done a lot of these whiskey tastings, online stuff, tastings in person, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Right, and most of the time they're very good, they're enjoyable, and they're all that kind of stuff. But I did one last night, and I talked about it last week, and I said I was excited about it. It was much better than I thought it could have been. It was much better than I thought it was going to be. Now, this box, I think, was £110. It was something like £110, £120.
Okay. Yeah. So not a lot of money. Not a lot of money.
Now, you see, I was told by about 3 people this week that it's very expensive. It's quite dear. It's dear because you get 10 miniatures. Okay, 10 50ml miniatures. So it's basically half a litre of spirit.
Okay, yeah.
But this is what you get. Okay, this is what you got for your money.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you this now. The box even smells nice.
Is it like Is it like chocolates? Is it?
No, it's I don't know, whatever glue they use to put on the labels. It actually smells really nice. So you get this. This is what you got. Open it up.
Okay.
Presentation. So I'll set the sleeve down.
Right.
Okay. Now where does it open? Let me make sure. Now it opens out like this. Okay.
Looks like the plans for a nuclear bomb, Marty.
Yeah, that's a water ton on the back, right? So you get all these 10 mixers, okay? And a glass. And these 2 glasses are like 10 quid each.
I like them glasses. You have a Belfast Whiskey Week one for me, actually, don't you?
I think I do somewhere, yeah. Now, what you're getting is 10 miniatures that have been researched by Boann O'Connor. And what it is he recreated the mash bills. As everybody knows that he's doing his PhD. I mean, it's the most anticipated PhD for years. And what he did was, in collaboration with Boann Distillery, is create these mash bills. Now, you go through them, and number 1, okay, gives you all your tasting notes. Boann's tasting notes are worth 20 quid a piece because they're hilarious. One of them was, what was it he said last night? One of them is like, it smells like eating a Chinese at a wedding. Now, I'm not exactly sure what I meant that, but
hold on, I've been to weddings where they have had alternative food at them.
Yeah.
Eating a Chinese at a wedding, that means to me it's not quite right.
No, well, what he was saying was it was something totally different. Now, they all sort of went through on a narrative. Now, right, bearing in mind, all these little miniatures are 63%. Okay.
Okay.
So really, obviously you're trying them as is, but you really want to be watering a touch of water in them. Really open them up a little bit, open them up and give you what you're getting, right?
Should you really be drinking things like that if they're so rare?
We'll get to the rarity of it a little bit and a wee bit, because this is important in this aspect too. Okay, you get these tasting cards, and Boann went through every single one of these, explaining how it came about. So not only are you getting the beautiful presentation, the lovely smelling box, 10 miniatures of different mash bills telling a story of Irish whiskey from start to finish. Really, well, from start to it finished, essentially. You get another box of tasting notes. You're getting 3 hours worth of the most amazing history from a guy whose knowledge on the subject is just amazing, right? Then whenever you start to taste these, you're going through these. Some of these mash bills, so number one's 10% oats, 30% malt, and 60% barley. You're going through 15% oats, first one, 30% oats. I mean, this stuff, you're probably never going to get tasting this again, because some of these will be made commercially. You're tasting not only the past, but when the technical file changes for pot still, which seemingly is inevitable, you're probably tasting that little element of the future. Now, these are the raw spirit. They're not aged, so it's not technically whiskey as we know. But these have been laid down and will be coming out in 5, 7 years, 10 years time, whatever. I think it's 7 is probably how long we're going to keep it. So this might be the only time you are going to get to taste this. Okay? For £100, roughly. There's only 500 of these boxes. And every last drop, they said every last drop of what's left is gone. That's pretty much all of it into these bottles. Now, I don't think they sold out. I think, as far as I know, they still have them. A few of them left on the Boann website. So if you go to, I think it's at boann.com or boann.ie, I think they still have a few of them. Now, they're going to, the tasting last night was recorded, so it will be, you'll be able to play it back. But they actually have it and be there for it live. It kind of felt a little bit special. It felt genuinely as if you were taking part in something of importance. And I know a lot of the tastings come out, people have launched their new products, and they have an importance. But just honestly, it was mind blowing. I was taking notes, my own notes and stuff, but by the time I got to towards 10, I was sort of running out of stuff.
Right.
You've 10 totally different tasting experiences, 10 historical relics, if you like. But some of this will be the future. Some of this will be made commercially, but other bits and pieces of it just won't. And when these come out as aged spirit, when they come out as aged spirit, you can actually taste what it was like before it went in the cask. See what happened in the cask. Taste the differences between them. You can buy a bottle of each of them and try and see. The whole experience was superb. And I know John Dunn was there. I think he said there about the tasting cards.
Yes, he did. He says they were absolutely fantastic, such good quality.
The whole thing was just superb. Absolutely superb.
It certainly looks like a collector's edition, that.
Well, the thing about it is I've all those opened. I'll probably play about with those myself over a period of time. But I mean, whenever people say, "Oh, it's quite expensive," all you're really getting is like half a bottle of potchine. The work that went into even just to the design of that is worth £100. What you're actually buying in the bottle is something of total rarity. You're not getting this again.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those. I mean, I know James Dougherty will be on there, and I'm sure he would be wondering how on earth they actually made something with 30% oats in it, because oat goes like glue. It goes like porridge. How on earth do you run that through? Through just the production of it.
There must be some old technique that Fion's come across that they can do it.
They kind of explained it last night about how they did it, but I mean, you have to do all of this stuff to get
right.
it.
Geordie Burke is saying, check Boann site, no shipping to Canada. Listen, Geordie, there are drop shippers that will ship stuff to Canada. There's ways and means around doing it, okay? Yeah. There's bound to be people that ship it to America and then you nip across and put it in your British car and come across with it, there is bound to be. Come on, I've seen people stepping across the border in Canada and getting arrested. So listen, why don't you go to America, drink it, and then come back again and get arrested? Do it.
James saying almost emotional.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought I was taking part in something of importance, and it's not very often you get to do something like that. I mean, Fino's just an absolute blast. He's just an absolute cracker of a guy. But the amount of work that he's put into what he's been doing, and then he actually see it and be able to go along with it and taste what he was putting in front of his PhD panel and stuff. Just a fabulous thing to do. And easily worth £100, whatever it was. Because I mean, people go and spend £150 on one bottle, and don't really think anything of it. A lot of people buy it as collectibles, but you're tasting something totally and utterly unique. Totally unique.
There's Stacey McAllister. She's saying, thought about buying it yesterday and can't believe they haven't sold out.
It baffles me that they haven't sold out. For people, I mean, one of the things about whiskey is the stories and the history and the sort of involvement that you can have with a whiskey that's what makes it different than the likes of vodka and that kind of thing. And yet, here's Irish whiskey. All the stuff that disappeared, the huge section of what disappeared, what was the biggest whiskey industry in the world, and yet people are going, "Oh, it's a bit too expensive."
There's Sean McClanahan saying Canada is not a great place for proper whiskey. We have rye whiskey, which tastes like cough medicine. All right, cough medicine's a great thing. We're in the coronavirus thing. You don't want to be coughing. Otherwise, people sort of part ways when you walk down the street.
You get executed these days if you go.
Oh, boy. I love it. I love it. What a night we're having tonight. I tell you, I mean, listen, this is you in full throw. Is this a picture you took last night? Is it? Yeah.
That was after I had finished. Now, don't forget, we had done all 10 tastings at that point, and I was doing comparative tastings the whole way. Nose and stuff the whole way through. And by the time you're getting to sort of 10, you've got sort of palate fatigue and nose fatigue and so on and so forth. But there were some of them where, I mean, the difference that it makes having those slight different ratios and you're up and this and down and putting this down, the difference it makes just phenomenally different. And I mean, some of them just were like pinging out as being fruity in a way that whiskies, I've never tasted any whiskies like them. It's just it was just a fabulous experiment.
It is indeed.
And
that's the right address to order it, isn't it? Boanndistillery.ie. Yes, it is.
Yep, and that's the international site, because they've two sites. They have the Boann Distillery for Ireland, and then the Boann Distillery International, because of Brexit and all that kind of jazz. So
yeah,
they have two different things. But
I don't know whether we can go to the other one or it forces us to go to that one, because sometimes my server is Dublin and sometimes it is London. Yeah. So there we'll have. I'll put that one up too as well.
Well, honestly, guys, if you're a whiskey fan, I absolutely, totally and utterly am telling you now to get that, because it's just super.
Listen, you've been asked a question. You're going to have to answer it, because we do. I'm ready to go in the last 5-10 minutes with making the lovely cocktail of the Bushmills American Oak Cash finish. I'm ready to go, but because I'm being tempted by it. But Conor Ryan has asked the question I knew was going to be asked. What are your 3 top in the lineup?
Now, it's hard to say, because, as I say, towards the end, you're getting a little bit of what you would call sort of palate fatigue. You taste it 10 and you're sort of going through and back, and
okay,
so you get a little bit of palate fatigue. I can't give you my top three, but I'll give you my most. I'm not going to do it in order, but I think this would be my top three. And again, I could change my mind on a whim. But number two, it's the ancestor of the 4060 single pot mash bill from 1908 to 1974.
Okay, so explain to me what's so special about that then.
I'm only going by taste and what it was. I mean, I'm not going to read out Finon's stuff here because that would take too long just going through it.
Okay.
That was tasty stuff. It really was.
Okay, right.
55% barley, 40% malt, 5% oats. Very nice. The oats do something different than you expect them to. Second, another one I thought was superb. Number three, USA Pure Products Report, 1916 to 1955. That 63% ABV, and you could drink it straight, and it was just. I made a comment last night. A night on that would be a very, very short night because you'd have drunk so much of that so quickly you'd be blocked.
But you can drink it without adding any water to it very easily.
Easily, there was no burn with it. It was lovely, pleasant. You get loads of flavour. Normally, if something's 63%, you're not getting a huge amount of flavour out of it.
How did they manage to do that?
Well, that's 15% oats, which is really, really high oat content. 40% malt, 45% barley. I tell you, just if you went through them, they just all had something different. And then my other one that I really, really liked was the number 9, the Boann Distillery in the 1910s.
That's near Cork, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. This is just a whole hodgepodge. So it's 40% barley, 30% malt, 15% oats, 10% wheat, and 5% rye. And that's the three that really sort of were really, really good at. But it was just superb. And you'd have all that sitting there in front of you, and the history, and the talk, and the presentation, and it was superb. It was just amazing, absolutely amazing.
Okay, well, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? How many of them are going to make it into production?
Oh, Boann have laid all of these down. All of these will come out at some point, but the new make spirit, the raw spirit, that some of these will never be made again because they're probably just not really commercially viable and very tricky to make. So
does that mean they're not sweet enough for the palate, or does that mean they're too complicated to make?
No, probably a mixture of both. But in terms of making some of these mash bills, one of the problems that Boann said they had was running them through the mills, because you have different grains, different millings. If you overdo some of them, then it doesn't work, and if you underdo some of them, it doesn't work. And you have all these different aspects to look through and do. And the higher the oat content, the more porridgey it gets, the harder it is to run the wash out of them and stuff. It's just they'll just not be made. They won't. And to the modern palate, some of them just won't really take. But the fact that you can actually buy them, it's mind boggles. The people saying it's expensive.
Nobody's really ever done anything like this before either, have they?
Well, the thing about it is, there's all of this stuff was made. This is what made Irish whiskey what it became, and all of this was made for a very good reason, because this is what people used to like to drink. But the different mash bills, the different ratios of what went into it, chopped and changed for vastly different reasons. If there was a tax put on this, then people used less and used more of that. This was some people maybe just put a bit of rye in it because they like the spice of it, they like the taste of it. There's various reasons. But Finon, he tells you all this. He goes through all of this. Why this ended up like that? What was the part? Why common misconceptions and stuff? And And the tasting cards, they give a little bit, but as it gets to the point where he releases his PhD, and I just think I just think it's the whole project is really for me what drinking whiskey should be about, you know.
Okay, now it's that time of the night when people really want to see what we're going to do tonight, and well, I get to mix one of these.
Look at his wee face. Look at him. He's like a dog with two dicks. Look at him.
I missed it. I've got to show you, Marty. Not going to show you in full screen, but do you know this bottle?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see how much of that I've had? I'm sorry. I maybe need to go to an AA meeting. I'm sorry.
Folks, I'll just explain what happened here, right? This was sent out as a press release, this American Oak one, right? To me. Okay?
Yeah.
And then I said, look, I'm working on Wednesday or Thursday, whatever day it was, that they were going to do the live launch, you know, the sort of press thing. Okay? Because I get it because I write for the papers. So that was all right. I said to his nibs here, I said, tell you what, I'll give you over the stuff and you can make the cocktails because it's more his kind of thing anyway. But don't drink all I said, don't be drinking all of that because I want a taste of it, etc. So now the sauce is nearly all drunk.
I haven't. I won't. I promise I won't drink anymore. I won't. I will not drink anymore. I'll give it back to you when I see you tomorrow. Actually, a better because otherwise you're going to be cross because you have to review this as well still yourself because it wasn't open when you haven't tasted it. Yeah, it is. But basically, what this is to make the American Old Fashioned, which I would recommend you do, is you take 2 parts Bushmills American Oak Cask Finish, which you can see here. Here it is here. This is the second one of the affordable expressions that's come out. The first was the rum one, which was all right, but there's better rum finishes than the Bushmills. But this is, dare I say it, sublime. I'm going to call it a sublime. And if you don't think it's sublime, you know, you can say I'm wrong, but I don't think I am wrong. So basically, I made an American Old Fashioned, as I suggested, with 2 parts Bushmills American Oak, a quarter of Demerara syrup, which I have here. Which is this little thing, you know, you make it yourself. It's equal parts sugar and water, and then you just boil and simmer, and it keeps for about a week. So you can do that yourself. Is that Peter Stewart? I'm hoping to get some on Tuesday. Is he talking about the American Oak? Is it out Tuesday, Marty? Is it, or is he talking about the Boann stuff? Don't know.
I don't know. I've seen Tony Sillett asked what site it is to get it shipped to England, the Boann stuff. It's the international.
It would be the international site. Sometimes we can click on the IE site and get it sent here. It's to do with Brexit.
IE, Boann.ie /
But when you automatically click the link, it'll automatically take you to the correct site.
It should do. Do.
It asks you to put in your age. If you lie about your age, they won't let you buy it. So you have to say you're over 18 or 21. If you say you're 15, which, you know, I'd like to say I'm 15 instead of the other 5, you have to do that. If you need AA, so does everyone watching the show. No, we don't. We always say drink responsibly. People think we do this show pissed. We are not pissed. We have 1 or 2 maybe, and that is it.
Well, to be fair, I was watching the rugby earlier on, so I have a little.
I know. Listen, I had a half a Guinness at Macarone Boat Club today. I wasn't driving the car. I know you hadn't drank for 4 or 5 days, right? So don't. This show isn't about alcohol consumption. It's about reviewing Irish whiskey. Globally, anything to do with Scotch or bourbon or any spirits, really.
It's a whiskey show. It's the Irish Whiskey Review. It's a whiskey show set in Ireland, not just Irish whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, because if we called it anything else, it would be too complicated to name. You know, it would be like one of those job titles you get instead of getting a pay rise. You know, I was in a shop like that the other day. The guy didn't even know a globally recognized product. I kid you not. can't tell you about it because I would have to name names, and it would be true. And well, I don't want to harm them, but it was pretty appalling. I can tell you that much. Yeah. Bushmills, America. Sean McLennan saying, "Oh, good shout, Peter." There you go. But basically, how you make this, you put the Demerara syrup, you put a few dashes of the bitters, which I love telling people about because the label is bigger than the bottle. Because when they came to do it, somebody was looking after the label and somebody was looking after the bottle, and they didn't match up. It was a question on the chase, actually. Where does this come from? It's Trinidad and Tobago. So you put the orange bitters in, and then you put an orange rind, and the most important part, it's in there waiting for me somewhere. There's a dark cherry in there somewhere. There's a dark cherry in there. Can you see the cherry? Oh, there it is there. Look, there's the cherry. Hold on, I've got to put this in big so everybody can see it. Look, there's the cherry there. Look, I am going to suck on that cherry for a very, very, very long time indeed. I am. And that's the show. There's Mark Simon saying he had a real leer over the rugby. I'll start singing soon and the dog will go to bed. There you go. Yeah.
I have to go up early in the morning. I'm working again.
Lucky you. James and Maura Doherty, my God, he's a natural. We need to get Justin into some freestyle bartending. No, I did it like Blue Peter tonight. I had it all ready. Because otherwise, you're not going to believe this. The last time I made this cocktail, right, and I haven't told Lauren this, I actually spilt the thing on my really expensive Bluetooth keyboard, and I'm actually back on the old key. I can't lift it up because it isn't on. I'm actually back on the old keyboard because I actually spilt alcohol on the Bluetooth keyboard and banjaxed it. So, I'm getting to the point where I'm going to need a waterproof keyboard or something like that. There are one of those plastic covers for it. So that's I'm not a natural freestyle bartending. No, I had this made in advance. So.
Well, hopefully we'll be talking to Lauren during the week. I said that we would give her a talk at the start of the week. We'd have a yarn with her. So hopefully we'll get caught up.
It's Tuesday. We have interviews to do, don't we? We've got a couple of to catch up with actually, because
we've some people to catch up with because I've just been busy.
We're running out of time to do things. I mean, I'm hoping to go canoeing during the week, so it's as well you told me, because if I'm in the van, the computer would definitely get wet if I was out in the canoe. So But I think it's Tuesday night we're talking to somebody, is it? Yeah.
Something, but I don't know. We'll be doing a recording, but
yeah. The website does not switch the sales to the UK. I'm afraid to buy the box set. No, listen.
No.
Yeah. People can definitely buy it in the UK. So
I bought mine in the UK.
You put your thing in, change it up and down. If they take the money and it doesn't come, order it in a credit card. If it doesn't come, you can be like Alan Wicker and get your money back, or Rowan Atkinson and get your money back. But it will come.
I'm telling you now, genuinely, you can buy it in the UK. It's not a problem at all. And if you do have any queries about it, email the guys at Boann. They're dead easy to talk to. Don't worry about it. If you want a box, all you have to do is order one, and you'll get it. But like that's the fact that they haven't sold out is, to me, is just baffling that they haven't sold out.
Yeah, it is indeed. This is what you get. Look at these goodies here. Look at those goodies there. So
honestly, and the cards and stuff, and they've recorded the interview, recorded the whole thing, and you'll be able to watch it with Fanon, which is worth the money by itself.
Yeah, it's worth going and watching that whiskey program. It's probably still up there in iPlayer. I would like to think it is, or is it down now?
No,
it's probably is up there.
No, it's still there.
Whiskey talking. BBC iPlayer, check that out too as well, and you can check out our interview with Fiona and Mark Thompson as well. Actually, I've seen Mark Thompson was down at the Hillsborough Castle for the sort of today for a big event down there where they do the installation of the guard or something like that there. So that was nice. So what have we got? Try Irish malts for the Boann box set. Apparently it's on there too. Patrick Mulkey says as well.
I don't know. It might be. I thought it was only available from Boann, but it could be. I don't know.
And there's Graham Horner saying the YouTube have the video already. YouTube have the video. We'll share that as well. The tasting session that this week. Remember, we're on YouTube. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Anchor. We're on wherever you get your podcasts from. What does he say? Any chance Spots does a box set?
No, I don't know. You can get most of the Spot range fairly easy. I don't know whether they do miniature box sets of it, but I would doubt it. But you can get
There's the link on there. There's the link on there to buy it from Irish Malts. But there you go. Thank you very much, Patrick. John Danson, did you buy any Belfast Whiskey Week bottles?
I was in much anticipation of the Dunvilles, and I sat and I had my dad on standby as well to get one, and then the whole thing was going
Boogaloo.
I didn't really compute, and then it came up, oh, happy days, and I put it through, and it said, oh, in your basket, and then it came up with a weird message, and I thought, oh, that didn't process properly.
Mm-hmm.
That was okay. I thought, right, well, I haven't got it, and then I read on the website or on Facebook that said that there'd been a problem with the website. It all collapsed again as usual, and that they would redo it at a later date.
Well, listen,
before you interrupt, Justin,
oh, look at this here. He's going to rub it in. He's going to rub it in. He's going to rub it in. I knew he would rub it in. Look at that there.
We got the Belfast Whiskey Week Dunvilles. Yo! What cask is it? 1330.
Somebody was asking the number actually there. Somebody was asking the number. What number did you get?
Well, it doesn't say a number on it actually. It doesn't actually state a number on it. But we got the Belfast Whiskey Week Dunvilles. I know there was a whole cock up with it. I haven't really been speaking to
what I was going to say, if the government can't even get the COVID certification for holiday travel right, what hope do they have for getting the website right? I mean, think of the problems, the teething trouble we have had with our website. I mean, one night we couldn't even do the show, but now it goes like a dream. I mean, and you're getting super duper broadband next, so it'll be great,
Yeah, 21st century stuff. I mean. That's the only Belfast Whiskey Week that
It is a very nice presented bottle, says Geordie Burke. Yeah, well, and 57.2% as well.
Well, this is the 1327 single cask Dunvilles, which these can be picked up pretty much for cost on the auction sites. Okay, here's a handy hint: pick them up because they'll not. At some point in the future, they bounce up. Numbers on the tube.
Yeah, the number is on the tube, on the back of the tube, is it, or on the bottom of the tube? Just watch it doesn't fall out if you turn it upside down.
Sorry, 266.
266.
That's the first time I pulled it out of the.
As long as it wasn't 666, you're doing all right.
266. So
yeah,
I mean, the Dunville single cask stuff is just fantastic. It really is. I mean, look at the colour of that.
What would you do to me if I drank the rest of that?
I will punch your wee head into about 1 million pieces. But anyway, I'll see you in the morning and I'll punch your head in it. If you don't have it down to me in the morning, I'm going to kick your head in.
All right. I'll bring it to you. Can I put water in it? You wouldn't know the difference if I put water in it to top it up like a 15-year-old, would you? You wouldn't know.
No, Justin, do you think I would know?
You would know. You would know.
Yes, I would know. I know a mile away. I know the colour of it.
You would know. you would know.
No, honestly, no.
Actually, you're better one of those Israeli scanners that can scan the bottle and tell what's in it, actually.
Well, I know one thing. I'll know if you don't give me a taste of that. a bloody good surgeon's going to need a bit of an art to retrieve it from where I'm going to shove it.
I know. I might lose some weight then. That'll be good. Listen, we've got to go. Good night, everyone. Remember to comment, like, and share. Thanks for watching. It's been a hoot tonight again, as usual.
My pleasure as always.
Irish Whiskey Review. It just gets better every week. You said nobody was going to watch it this week because they're all busy at Belfast Whiskey Week. I had trouble keeping up with all the readouts there, and actually one of the readouts wouldn't come through because somebody has privacy on, and it came up on my phone that somebody's commented, and then I couldn't display it. Linda Cox is saying thanks, lads. Let me see. Patrick Mutley saying good night. Graham Horner saying good night. I can't keep up with it. Stop doing it, because otherwise I have to put you all on. Right, there we go. Hold on a minute here. Stanley Song saying good night. Peter Stewart saying,
I know Stanley got a bottle of Dunville's as well.
Did he? He did. Trevor Watson, thanks. You're all in good form every night. We're in good form every night. Never mind tonight. Great show tonight, Geordie. Thank you very much. I hope you get sorted in Canada. You eventually something will give in Canada. Something will give. China will invade, and then you'll be able to get it. Michael Matthews, thanks, lads. 99 from James Murray Doherty. Yes, he did get one. There you go. Yeah. We're going to call it quits because otherwise the show will go on until midnight tonight. Thank you very much. Catch you again soon, folks. All the best. Night.
Take care, guys.